Hello friends, let's continue about our chapter about the dividends and share repurchase basics. As you know, we started this chapter last Thursday, and this is a video about continuation about the dividends and share purchase basics. As you know, we have like dividends. Dividends are usually the payments for shareholders. We'll be talking about the shareholders. Okay, let's have some quick review about what we have covered. We have covered that the there are types of dividends. There are regular dividends. They occur like quarterly or annually. Special dividends. It's extra dividends for like unusual income when it comes, maybe seasonal income, and liquidating dividends like last payments for shareholders as of the company will be bankrupt. Like this is the starting point of this chapter, dividends and share repurchase basics. In this video, let me erase this. Okay, in this video we'll be talking about dividends. Sorry, just a second. Okay, we'll be talking about dividends, cash dividends, and share repurchase. And we will remember the last lessons about stock dividends and stock splits, stock dividends and stock splits. And we will continue the chapter about it's a cash dividends and share repurchase, stock dividends and stock splits. And in this video we will be talking about what effect this cash dividend and share repurchase has on some ratios and accounts. Let's say ratios and accounts. Also, like how stock dividends and stock splits affect companies' well-being, and what happens after the share repurchase, cash dividends or share repurchase. What happens to the company's well-being? Okay, company's well-being as of account on the ratios and the accounts effects to the ratios and the accounts to the firm. Okay, that's a quick introduction. Let's continue. Let's continue with this topic. Let me switch to the book. Okay, we said that there are three types of dividends. Then, as we discussed, let's once more remember what happens when the companies pay stock dividends. Okay, what happens to what the effect of stock dividends. Okay, just let me take a picture once more. Okay, let's in detail discuss about the stock dividends. Okay, that's it. It's a stock dividend. As we said, stock dividend is different from cash dividend. Cash dividend in a way that like stock dividend and the cash dividend, when the cash dividend is paid, like actual cash like cash money is transferred. But the stock dividend is different, because in a stock dividend, stockholders they don't get cash. They just receive extra dividend for their like stocks, they receive extra stock for their stock. For example, in this example, let's discuss this example. Like, what I want to say is that stock dividend and the stock split are the same in the meaning. Like, stock dividend distributing extra stock to shareholders, stock split splitting their stock into like smaller parts. Okay, these are two the same. And let's remind, like, we have discussed this issue in a previous lesson, and let's remind this in a like detailed discussion in the video. Okay, in this example it says that like this company, Dwight Carver company, owns it's in the balance sheet of that company, 100 shares of Carson Construction Company at the current price of $30 per share. Okay, Carson Company has 1 million shares outstanding, and this Dwight company owns like 100 shares out of 1 million shares. And its earnings per share for the last year, what that the company the earning per share, like this Carson company has an earning per share of $1.5. $1.5. Okay, earning per share. What does mean earning per share? Earning per share is like EPS. Earning per share means net income over number of common equity holders. Like net income is a result of one period, for example 1 year, yes, and one common equity holder, one share, claims from net income how much. Like, here we have $1.5. It means one share earns $1.5 for example, per year. It means one share earned $1.5 per year to equity holder. Because we have sale, we have expenses, and we have net income. This is for example, for 1 year. And who holds one share of the firm, he earns $1.5 for this 1 year, because net income divided by number of common equity holders, it means $1.5. Your one share, this one share earns you for the year $1.5. Okay, it's like earning per share. It's a meaning of the earning per share. Then earning per share for company was $1.5 for the year. And Carson, this company, declares 20% stock dividend. It says that if you have one share, I will give you extra 0.2 shares, and your share becomes 1.2. You had one share, your share becomes 1.2 shares. Okay, units. Okay, it's units, штук. Okay, that's it. Then what affect this like distribution of the new stock? Because stock dividend and stock split their goal, their aim is just to decrease price of stock by increasing number of stocks. Okay, number of stocks. For example, you have a bank note of like $100, yes, $100 banknote, one banknote of $100, and you want to exchange it for like not only one unit of banknote, okay? You want to make it like, for example, 10 banknotes, like 10 banknotes for 10 banknotes with a nominal value of $10, okay? With a nominal of $10. And this like 100 equals 100. But you have a lot of banknotes, like 10 banknotes of smaller amount, but they account, all of them account for $100, yes? Like their value doesn't change, but their number of banknotes change and their nominal value of $10 from one banknote of 100 to 10 banknotes of every worth $10. Like this stock dividend and the stock splits aim is to chop, размельчить stock into smaller stocks. In a general, they have the same value. Okay, that's the aim of the stock split and the stock dividend. Okay, let's see how the stock dividend has effect on, and we should see what effect on stock dividend on the market price of a stock, how this has on the market price affects the market price of the stock, and Kraver's ownership position in the company. Okay, how this like ownership position, like Dwight's Kraver's ownership position of Carson Company, how it will change. Okay, and then let me erase this part, and we will be continuing. Okay, we have before stock dividend and after stock dividend effects. Shares outstanding, it was 1 million. After 20% increase in the shares, number of shares, we have 1,200,000. Okay, number of dividends, number of stock increased. Okay, number of stock increased. Let me do it like that. Number of stock increased. Earning per share, it is decreased because earning per share decreased because you like we'll come to here. Stock price, how stock price changed, we'll see. Like let's say like share owned, Kraver company owned 100 share before. 100 multiplied by 1.2, it means 120. It increased, number of shares increased. Then we should discuss like total market value. Okay, total market value of the company should stay the same. Because stock dividend and the stock price, stock split, they don't have effect on the, like as we said, like $100 equals $100, no matter one banknote or 10 banknotes. Okay, one banknote or the 10 banknotes, your total value of your banknotes will stay the same. So this is a starting point. This is a logical starting point. Total market value of the company should be the same. Before it was 1 million multiplied by 30, because 30 was share price, yes? Every share worth market in the market $30. Company had 1 million shares, it is 30 million, market capitalization is 30 million. But after like stock number of stocks has risen, so the price should fall to 25. Price has fallen to 25. Okay, stock price was 30. Price should fall because this goal of the share stock dividends and stock split is to decrease the price, as we said, decrease the nominal to 10. Okay, from $100 to 10. And then number of shares increased, but the stock price should fall to keep this total market value the same. Okay, price has fallen to 25. Let me erase this. Okay, price has fallen to 25, and we have like stock price has fallen to 25. It's like this is also the proof of price to fall. Then we have like ownership value. Before the Kraver owned 100 shares with $30. Then it started to own 120 with price of 25. The ownership value, like A company owns B company, it invested, its value of investment was $3,000. After the stock dividend, it also remains $3,000 because there were 100 units of 100 units of stock. After it becomes 120 units of stock. 120 before it was every share worth every just sorry okay every share was $30, but here every share started to be $25. But the overall ownership value, it doesn't change. Like stock split and stock dividends, they don't have effect on ownership value. Okay. Then we have to discuss earning per share. Earning per share. So earning per share, it was like before it was $1.5 per share. But as long as net income, like earning per share formula is net income over number of common equity holders. Yes, number of common equity, So in the earning per share, like stock dividend and stock split, they don't affect net income. Net income is affected only by sale expenses, and with the tax, net income is affected. Like doing stock dividend and stock split, it doesn't affect like net income, earning of the firm. So net income doesn't change, but common equity, number of common equity rises because before it was 1 million stocks, it becomes 1,200,000 stocks. So earning per share, as denominator will increase, earning per share will decrease, okay, by the amount of 1.2, coefficient of 1.2. Here, earning per share will decrease because we had a lot of shares. Every share started to earn less money. So, friends, like I hope that works. And the ownership stake before, like Kraver owned 100 share out of 1 million, 0.01%, and it started to own 120 out of 1,200,000. It also stays the same. Okay, all in all, friends, all in all, here what we have, let's like highlight the main points. Let's highlight the main points here. The main goal is to stock price has changed. Stock price has changed from 30 to 25. And number of shares outstanding also has risen. Okay, stock price has fallen, but the number of shares outstanding has risen. As we said, like the goal is to decrease the price by increasing number of shares. Okay, and as side effects, we have like earning per share, it decreased, but it's not a side effect. It's like effect, but it doesn't affect directly stockholders, and the company is neutral. Like there are not better off nor worse off. Okay, worse off. It doesn't affect like directly the company. It doesn't make company profitable. It doesn't make stockholders profitable. It just decreases the price and increases the number of common equity outstanding. As an example of distributing $100 of one banknote or 10 banknotes. Okay, the value stays the same, but the number of banknotes and denomination of the banknotes just change. Okay, that's the main idea of stock dividend. Okay, if you have any questions, write that questions and you will be able to answer them on Thursday. Let's continue with other issues in this chapter. Okay. Stock split. Let's discuss the stock split. Let me have a photo of that. Okay, stock split. As the stock dividend, stock split, also it increases the number of common equity outstanding and decreases the price. Okay, we said that here current stock price is $30. Earnings per share 1.5, dividends is 0.6 per share, and there are 1 million shares outstanding. What's the impact? Like Carson, the previous example, shares outstanding, stock price, earning per share, and dividend per share, dividend yield and price earning ratio, and the market value. Like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like to 6 accounts. Shares outstanding, like we have 3 for 2, like 3 for 2. It means like if you had like 2 shares, your 2 shares become 3 shares. Okay, it means like if you had 2 shares, your 2 shares will become 3 shares. Or like if the company issued 2 shares, their company the shares outstanding will increase to 3. Okay, 3 for 2 means like 2 share becomes 3 shares. Okay, it's like company had 1 million share multiplied by 3 over 2, it means 1,500,000, 1.5 million. Then stock price, as in a previous example, stock price will fall because number of shares outstanding has risen. It will fall by the same coefficient as number of share increased. Okay, then the stock price will become $20 per share. Earning per share will decrease because there are a lot of shares. Every share should earn less to in order to maintain the same value. Okay, 1.5, 1.5, and the $1. And we have like stock price. We said stock price will fall, earning per share will fall. What the dividends per share? Dividends per share also fall because you had like 2 shares, your 2 shares become 3 shares, so you had earnings for dividend for 1 share you had 1.6. If you hold 2 shares, you earned like $1.2 out of your 2 shares. You should also earn the same number of dividend for three shares, 1.2, and every share should get you $0.4. Okay, dividend per share will fall because your dividend stays the same. Like shares repurchase, stock dividends and stock splits, they don't have effect on dividend payment. They don't increase your dividend payment. They just increase number of shares, but every share should earn less dividend to maintain the overall dividend. Okay, so dividend per share will fall. Before it was 0.6 and it will fall to 0.4. Dividend per share will fall. Dividend yield, if you invest, buy the share and have a dividend, your percentage earning for your dividend for current price will be 2%. 2% should be maintained, so changing 2% should be maintained, yes. Your dividend per share will change, your price will change, the dividend yield stays the same. Okay, it doesn't change. Price earning ratio, you have price, you have earning per share, it is 20. Your price has fallen, your earning per share has fallen, and your price earning ratio stays the same. Market value, of course, it will stay the same because stock dividend and stock split, they don't affect the value or the market value, because shares outstanding will increase, but the share price will fall. Share price effect will increase, but the share price has fallen. Okay, all in all, market value stays the same, price earning ratio stays the same. All in all, friends, by these two examples of stock split and the stock dividend, I want to accentuate to the fact that this has effect on just number of shares outstanding will increase, price will decrease, okay, and the earning per share will change, but price earning ratio or the market value, total market value will not change, like dividend yield will not change. Okay, the main goal is here, increase shares outstanding and decrease the price, but the ownership position, market value, essential value added will not change. Okay, that's it. And if you have any questions, you are welcome on Thursdays. Then let's continue with our chapter. Okay, as we said here, for firms use stock splits and stock dividends to keep stock prices within the perceived optimal trading range. That's the main goal of the stock split and stock dividend, to maintain in a range of $20 and $80 per share, because market price of the shares are fluctuating. They can increase or decrease. It's market driven. Okay, and what does academics say about this? Stock price will rise after the stock split or stock dividend, because stock dividend and stock splits are the signals for increasing price. And what does increasing price mean? It means if the price of the stock increasing, the company is whether people think about the company that it's successful company, or the company really successful and it has some really good earnings. So the stock prices tend to rise because these signals. But if it doesn't go for the positive signals about the management, stock prices will adjust before the split price. Okay, so stock splits and this in general, like, let me write it. Stock dividend and the stock stock splits are signals for positive change in an organization. Change, because stock splits and stock dividends, like price range 20, price of the stock 20 and 80 should be maintained. Like stock splits and stock dividend are done when the price goes beyond, like, for example, the price of the stock becomes $200. Then to decrease that price, companies make stock dividends and stock splits. But what does it mean, like increasing a price from 80 to 200? It means like demand for the stock will rise. When the demand for the stock will rise, because the company is positively changing to the positive, has the future perspective, has a good future perspective, and everyone wants to buy it because in the future it will be worth more. Okay, so it's like positive signal. In that positive signal, companies want to decrease the price by going to the stock dividend and stock splits. If it doesn't happen, like further change will not go beyond the original price. Okay, that's it about the stock dividend and stock splits. Here are the chronology of dividend payment. We have declaration date, the date the board of directors approves the payment of the dividends. Ex-dividend date, the first day a share of a stock trades without the dividend. The ex-dividend date is also the cutoff date for receiving the dividend and occurs 2 business days before the holder of the record date. If you buy a share on or after the ex-dividend date, you will not receive the dividend. Okay, holder of the record date, the date on which the shareholders of record are designated to receive the dividend. The payment date, the date the actual dividend checks are mailed, actual payment, okay, mailed out when the payment is electronically transferred to shareholders account. It's like takes some time about the declaration, like nearly 1 month between declaration date that we will pay the dividends, okay, we will pay the dividends, and the actual payment date, it's like nearly 1 month, nearly more than 1 month. Okay, I want here to accentuate the fact, because we will be using that fact that, for example, 0 and 1, the beginning of the year, like say 12 months, like 12 months time. For example, here, like here, we stay here, and like you buy here dividend paid to the company. You buy stock. It's a stock, okay? It's a stock, акция company. Dividend just paid. Company just paid the dividend. After the dividend payment, you buy the stock, okay? You buy the stock in a 0.0. The company just paid the dividend. So what does mean dividend? Dividend means like company will work for some time, then working for some time gets net income, and out of this net income dividend is paid. Okay, that's it. So like company stock is worth at the end, like if the stock, for example, $50, stock will be worth $51 here, because $1, for example, if the dividend is $1, like dividend is accumulated earning for some period of time. You hold this stock for 12 months, then this, like, let's draw it like that, your like value of the stock will rise because for the $1, because at this point in time after 12 its price 50 plus $1 dividend. It holds like periodic $1 for this period of holding this stock. It's like $1 is like interest payment for the debt, but like for holding the stock you get the dividend of accumulated dividend of $1. Then I want just to accentuate the fact that dividend is it depends on the time, like timing. If you had just bought the stock without the dividend payment, you have to wait 1 year to get the dividend payment, because dividend is a result of some net income. Net income is result of one period, okay, year, annual, or quarterly. So this stock, like, it carries $1 dividend. Then if the dividend is here paid, like if the dividend is paid, so this $1 will be paid out. So stock will be worth only $50, okay, because it has no longer dividend in it. So it's like also the important point of the dividend. Okay, we will be using that knowledge. Okay, don't forget about that. Then let's continue. Like there are ways how to buy the dividend in an open market. Like we have, like, let's switch to the notion of cash dividend. Okay, cash dividend and share repurchase. Okay, share repurchase. Okay, let's start with discussing. Sorry. Let's start with discussing cash dividends. Cash dividends. Cash dividends means like sales, expenses, net income. Company had some net income, for example, $100, and this net income goes to the balance sheet, to the source of funds, to the common equity, 100 plus. Then from this 100, like the company has, for example, cash increase of $100. Then if the dividend is paid out of this 100 or whatever. If the cash dividend, it by the name suggests cash, the cash is decreased. If the dividend, for example, $5 dividend is paid, common equity retained earning will fall, okay, with a minus $5, and the cash will fall to the minus $5 because you distribute cash to the owners of the company. Okay, you distribute the cash to the owners of the company. Okay, that's it. That's the cash dividend. But what about the share repurchase? Share repurchase. It means about you get like $100. Cash is increased by $100, and your common equity, for example, common equity is $100 plus common of $100. Then your cash decreased by $5, but here your common equity also decreased by $5. Retained earnings, like you get from net income or whatever earnings, will decrease. At the same time, in a share repurchase, your number of common equity also decrease, because you just not only pay, but you repurchase. For example, if you have 1,000 units of common equity, by you I mean like company, it buys back the shares from the shareholders. It gives them cash and it receives their shares back. By the amount of the cash, buys their shares back with the market price. Okay. In the first situation, like it could be a bit complicated, but let me beforehand says that this share repurchase and cash dividend, they have the same effect. They make the distribution of the cash to shareholders. Okay, the main goal. Let me write it. Okay, goal is to distribute cash to shareholders. Okay, like cash dividend and share repurchase, they have like also, let me say you beforehand that they have same effect because the goal is to distribute the cash by paying cash dividend or buying back their shares. It has the same effect. The cash is transferred from the company to shareholders. Okay, they just like going to ATM. You go to ATM, you get cash from your like bank card and you put it in your pocket. Okay, that's the same effect. Let's discuss further with giving some example. Okay, let's giving some example. Okay. Okay, then the friends, before starting this example, we have like we have two ways of paying, like каяқтан төлейміз, from paying, откуда мы будем платить. Okay, what source? Okay, there are two sources where we'll get the payment. The first source is internal funds, our internal funds of organization. The second is getting debt. Like you get debt to pay dividends. Okay, or you use internal funds to pay dividends. It may be possible. Like you get debt, the source of paying dividend is debt. The source of paying cash dividend is debt. For example, you get debt, you have cash, then you pay dividend. And here we will like be discussing what effect it will be on if the company gets debt or if company has internal funds. Then if they pays dividend, what will happen? Is the good idea or not? Okay, is the good idea or not? Like we are considering cash dividend and share repurchase at the same time. Like we'll be discussing this because they have the same effect. But what happens if we get the debt and pay dividends, or use internal funds and pay dividends? What will happen? Let's discuss. Here let's discuss this situation. Let me have a screenshot of that. Okay. Okay. Here we have one company, Spencer Incorporated. It plans to borrow 30 million. It plans to borrow 30 million to repurchase shares. Okay, to buy back to distribute 30 million by buying back the shares of the shareholder. Okay, Final has complied with the following information, and they have the following information. It's a price, market price, shares outstanding, it is common equity, number of common equity, earning per share, this is EPS, earning yield, let's say it's earning yield, and after tax KD, after tax, okay, after tax KD, and planned buyback, plans to buy back 600,000 shares. So here let's discuss what's earning per share. EPS means net income over now a number of common equity holders, yes. And if the EPS earning per share is $5, okay, we want to find total earnings, we want to find net income if the shares outstanding, number of common equity holders, are 20 million. If we put here 20 million, to find net income, we should multiply them 2, and we have net income of 100 million. Okay, 100 million. Net income, total earnings is 100 million. We have found it. Like, it is net income 100 million. Okay, so as we said, we should distribute, we should pay the cash, distribute the cash from this 100 million because we have earnings and we want to pay dividends, okay? We want to pay dividends, but here is not dividend, we want to buy. It's like buy shares of shareholders. If we buy their shares, we give them money, we have their shares back. Like, we are giving them money, okay? They're like cashing out from the company. So the formula is here total earnings, that from where we'll be paying 100 million minus tax, minus after tax cost of fund, because to pay dividends we will be using debt, okay? We will be using debt, and the debt has 8%. How many shares we are planning to buy back? 600,000 shares. And what the price in the market we will be buying from our shareholders with the market price with a $50 per share. And overall here we have like 30, 0, 0, 0 and 1,000. We are planning to how much, like 30 million. As said before, we want to spend 30 million, like 30 million. Let's say this is 30 million. And to have this 30 million, we want to get some debt, okay? We will not be paying cash. We will be paying by cash, but the source of this cash, the cost of this cash is 8%, because the source of that fund will be 8%. It after tax cost of borrowing, 8%. It will be multiplying by 8%. So then shares outstanding after buyback. Before it was 20 million, but we want to buy back 300,000 shares. In the outstanding, in the circulation, number of shares will be minus 600,000 less, okay? So we have like 9,676,000 over this amount, okay? And dividing this, we have 503, because shares outstanding will be less because we have buyback this number. Then the source of that fund will be that, and we are like our source will be less because from net income we will be paying out, giving cash, 3 million cash, okay? 3 million cash to people. Then our expense for that 3 million will be not only 3 million, but 3 million multiplied by 8%, but because like this 3 million we will be getting from somewhere as a debt. So earning per share after buyback will be before buyback it was like $5. After buyback it is 503. After buyback earning per share is higher, and this has a positive effect on the shareholders that doesn't sell their shares, because before your share earned $5, after, for example, we have like here 20 million. Some people sell their shares, yes, but who didn't sell this number, they have 5.03 earning per share. Before they had $5 earning per share, their one share earned, but after this they had 503. They are better off. Who remained with the company, they became better off because their earning per share has risen. Who remained. Okay, and here is some logic. Some logic here, that if the after-tax cost of borrowing is less than earning yield, the earning per share will rise because company gets cheap money and it pays to shareholders more. They get cheap loan and pays more. In this situation, earning per share will be positive. It will be positive because the company has a cheap source of money, and it pays, like, for example, it's like that in our real life. You get from bank, for example, with a 8% credit, and you invest 10% to deposit. Yes, you are better off because your credit is 8%, you invest with 10%, you'll be better. Earning yield is 10%, but to get that earning yield, to finance that money, you get 8%. Like you'll be 2% like positively affected. So this is a situation when the earning yield is higher than the cost of borrowing. Borrowing in that situation is better to pay for cash share repurchase, to distribute the cash. Okay, that's its situation. Let's continue with the next example. Let's discuss the situation when the after-tax cost of borrowing is higher. Okay, so let me adjust the picture. Here it is. And the same situation, same 30 million, but we had after-tax cost of borrowing. It's not, before it was 8%, but let's change it to 15%. Like 100 million, 600,000, price $50, but to finance that 30 million, company gets debt of after-tax cost of debt. Its after-tax cost of debt is 15%, the same share, but this becomes some costly. Okay, our money becomes some costly, so earning per share will fall. Before it was $5, it will fall for 4.92. What it means? It has a negative effect on earning per share because this $15, it is higher than $8. Yes, before $8 made higher effect because these are who remain with the company. Yes, because 600,000 they sell their shares of the company, But these are people who didn't sell their shares. They remain with more debt because earning yield is 10%. Earning yield is 10%, but you have 15% of debt. It is higher than the earning yield, so it will be burden to the people who remain with the company. So they should pay higher interest rate than their earning yield. So they have like negative effect. Their earning per share, it is EPS, their share will be earning less because the 15% of interest payment after tax cost of debt is a burden. It is higher than the earning yield, and this burden means ноша, 15% ноша это больше, чем они как бы зарабатывают. Их earning yield, их процентная ставка зарабатывания меньше, чем ноша, которую они должны выплатить. Из-за того, что они выкупили акции у них некоторых акционеров. И кто остается с компанией акционеры, они должны нести эту ношу. И эта ноша им в цифровом, в цифрах это понижается с 5, получается 0.08 dollars, 8 cents per share there will be worth of. Это минус из-за того, что они должны выплачивать этот долг. Они получают 10 прибыли, но выплатить должны 15% компании. Компания это shareholder компания. Shareholder will be worth of. Something like that. Friends, if you have any questions, if something is not clear, please prepare your questions for Thursdays. Okay, let's discuss how share repurchase will affect the book value per share. Okay, how the share repurchase affect the book value per share. Let's agree, let's remind that book value is a historical value. Historical, for example, book value per share means it's a historical price of the share. Okay, historical price of the share, because price may go up and down, but the book value per share is a historical price that it was sold for. Okay. The two companies, blue and red, they have price of the company both $25 per share of their stock, and they have common equity, number of common equity, shares outstanding 20 million, number of common equity of 20 million. Okay, and they want to buy back 10 million worth of shares. Buy back 10 million worth of shares. Okay, then Blue Incorporation has book value common equity of, let's say, common equity of 300 million. Red company has common equity book value of let's say it's book value, that doesn't confuse. Okay, book value of 800 million. Then calculate the book value per share of the company after share repurchase. Okay, Uh, let's refer to an example. Share buyback for both companies. Okay, they buy the share with the market price. Yes, they want to spend 10 million. They should buy in a market price in a market. So they should buy how many shares? 400,000 shares. They spent 10 million and they are able to buy 400,000. Okay, remaining shares will be this number because they have in outstanding this number. They are able to buy 400,000 and it will be this number. So before book value per share, before it was book value over number of shares outstanding. Blue company had book value per share of $15. And the book value per share of red company is $35. Okay, $35. So we will compare this book value per share to market price. Their market price is the same. It was cheaper, but in a market it appreciated for blue, but the book value per share was higher. Then the price dropped. Okay, price dropped because, for example, for blue company it is like that. Book value in a historical price has a reason. For red company, the price was 35, and it decreased to 25. Okay, it decreased to like, let's draw it like that. 15, it is 15, it is 25. Before it was 35 for red and it decreased to 25. Okay, book value was for 35, it decreased to 25. For blue company it was 15, it increased to 25. Okay, now it is now it is in the past. It is in the past. Okay, so and what effect it will have on a book value per share now. For blue company, where is blue company? Okay, for the blue company, book value will be like this. This is calculation. Book value will fall and the number of shares also will fall. So the book value per share, new book value per share, is 14.8. For the red company, they had the book value minus how many it want to spend for repurchasing stock. Then it has a new book value and the remaining shares after subtracting. Then it has like new book value per share of $35.2. Okay, so the logic here is that if the market price is higher than the book value, new book value per share will fall. If the market price is less than the book value, new book value per share will increase after share repurchase. Okay, that's a main main outcome. Okay, that's it, how share repurchase will affect the book value per share. Okay, friends, and for today we have the last issue of impact of share repurchase and cash dividends of equal amount. Before starting, let's discuss this because it's also a very important point. We will discuss this and it will be the last thing in this video. As we said before, beforehand, let me say the answer is that distributing cash dividend or buying the share purchase, they have the same effect on the shareholders and to the company. It's the same thing, but methods are different. Okay. Sorry. Let me pass. Okay. Here we have one company, and this company has shares outstanding, number of common equity of 20 million, market value of per share, current market value, it's a price of 50 per share. Okay, net income is 100 million and wants to distribute 80%, wants to reinvest it back, like out of this 70 million will be retained earning and 30 million will be paid as a cash dividend, first way, or share repurchase. Okay, it will be paid, distributed, let's say distributed to shareholders. So two alternatives, they have two alternatives. First is paying a dividend of $1.5 per share. The second is just repurchasing, spending this money to buy the shares back. Then we should discuss the effect of these two ways, like going cash dividend $1.5 per share, giving as a dividend, and remaining here stock number of common equity will not change, but here common equity will change. Okay. The difference between them, let's be clear, the difference between them in a cash dividend, number of common equity will not change. Here, when the repurchasing, number of common equity will fall. Okay, keep that in mind. It's a very important point. Okay, then what should we do? Okay, let's discuss the answer. So after like paying the dividend, price will fall. As we said before, like you the stock holds dividend in it, and before it was 50, for example, or like for example in our case 50 is here. Okay, 50 is here, and if the company is paying $1.5 dividend, it means 50 here it carries dividend in it. Like 50 means like 48.5, it's a price of that company, and the 1.5 is dividend that it carries. If the company will pay the dividend, the stock will remain 48.5 fall. The company's price will fall because 50 it carries 1.5 dividend in it. If the dividend will be paid, it's like потратили дивиденд, и у вас остается только stock price without the dividend. So, кто будет покупать это если он будет покупать до дивиденда, он купит за 50. Если он купит так, как после дивиденды выплачиваются, уже компания, акция уже, у него не будет дивиденды в акции, она уже упадет в цене. So we have like when the cash dividend is paid, the stock price will fall. Okay. But что становится с акционерами? У них получается в компании есть акция, которая стоит $48.5 in company, because as we said, common equity will not, никто не продает свои акции, но просто акция падает в цене, но и у них в кармане, in pocket, в кармане есть еще $1.5. В кармане $1.5, окей? Это прямой эквивалент того, что, предположим, у вас карточка есть. У вас в карточке есть 1000 тенге. И у вас еще зарплата поступила. Предположим, зарплата поступила, и еще 1000 тенге зарплата поступила. У вас на карточке 2000 тенге или $2000, let's say. Теперь вы хотите просто обналичить эти $2000. Вы берете с карточки, забираете сколько? 500 тенге. У вас получается в карточке 1500 тенге остается, и у вас в кармане у вас остается 500 тенге. Правильно? Но у вас ваше все богатство у вас 2000 тенге. Просто вы со своей карточки обналичили. То же самое. Это компания ваша, компания, которая 2000 тенге стоит, это ваша. Просто вы сделали обналичку. Вы просто с компании в свой карман положили. Вы никому свои акции не продавали. Вы просто с компанией, которая ваша, которую вы вкладывали, которая ваша, вы просто оттуда обналичили. С оборота просто вы в свой карман деньги взяли. Но ваш капитал 2000 тенге, он остается 2000 тенге. Или в компании, или у вас в кармане. Это ваши деньги. Paying the cash dividend is like cashing out from the ATM. Вы никому, так как вы не продавали свои акции, у вас акции еще в компании лежат, просто вы с оборота взяли деньги. Okay, that's it. Like, remember this cash dividend as going to ATM. Going to ATM and cashing out from ATM. Like 48,5 в компании лежат, 1,5 в вашем кармане. Это все ваши деньги. Okay. Then, in the case of share repurchase, 600,000 shares should be repurchased. Okay. And as of before, 200,000 shares outstanding. Every share and the book value of that, like market value of that share, are like how much? 10 sorry, 10 0 0 and 10 0 0 and 10 0 0 and 3 zeros minus 30 million divided by 20 million minus 600,000. Okay, minus 600,000. Like this is this example. Okay, this is like shares outstanding. Поскольку они продаются на рынке, минусуем, сколько мы потратим на share repurchase. Денег потратим на share repurchase, потом у нас общая акция, и акция понижается, количество акций понижается, и мы эти деньги, понижаются наши деньги в компании, получается 50, share price остается, был 50, он остается 50. Share price. Вы владели. Кто остается, вот компания, эти акционеры, it's a number of come after share repurchase, остается, у них каждая акция будет стоить $50. А кто свои получил, продал по $50, они ушли. Это как бы в компании, как бы объяснить, в компании 2000, ну, like, it doesn't go with the ATM, but можно как бы объяснить то, что кто получил свои деньги, они ушли уже с компании. Они получили свои деньги, получили прибыль $50 с акций и ушли. А кто остались, у них компания остались акции по $50. И здесь эффект то, что количество акций в компании понизилось. Вот эффект, разница в том, что здесь количество акций не понижалось, здесь количество акций понизилось. Здесь просто вы получили в карман 1.5, и у вас в компании есть. А здесь в кармане получали они, кто вот 600 тысяч акционеров, они получили по $50, каждый по $50, и получили они полностью свои акции, кэш они унесли с собой. Получается, они вот до этого было 48,1,5, это кэш дивиденд, а здесь они получили $50, получили свои, и они уже ушли с компании. А здесь акционеры остаются у них в кармане, это в компании. А здесь они уже с компании ушли, как уже дела с компанией не имеют. И у них, получается, кто ушли и кто остались, у них получается по $50. Wells одинаковый, по $50. В-первых, у них в компании остается и в кармане, а во втором случае они в кармане $50 у них остается. Ну, как бы так. Если у вас есть вопросы, if you have any questions, let's discuss it on Thursday. Okay. And friends, that's the end of today's lesson. If you have any questions, let's prepare that questions on Thursday. So that's all from me. Have a good day. I hope you enjoyed the lesson.